Hello, I am Stephanie Joy, the attorney at All Things Social Security and Joy Disability Law. Your video is about to start. I just wanted to remind you that if you click the join button below, you can learn more about the memberships offered at a very affordable price that can give you a little more direct attorney answers to your questions. Have a great day and enjoy the video. Happy Sunday. Here is Social Security Roundup for the week of January 6th to January 11th. That would be Monday through Saturday. Okay, here's what we did last week, guys. Busy week. Busy, busy. Hope you all had a good one. It is freezing cold up here. What do they say? The polar vortex that is upon us. We're looking at like 0 degrees or with the wind chill. It's been very windy, crazy windy. I thought I was going to get blown away one day. Okay, so on Monday the 6th, oh yeah, we went over the new law that removed the windfall elimination provision from applying to the small percentage of people it applies to. And some people are very thrilled that it's gone. And I laid out what it was, uh, my opinion on it. And some people got really offended. They can't take a different opinion, I guess. And I'm sorry about that. But I wanted everybody to know what it was. Because it has been misconstrued up and down for decades now. But the misconstruction has resulted in the removal. So have at it, people. Have at it. Okay, that was January 6th. January 7th was, let's see, when you're on SSI, and I can barely see, guys, my screen is so small. And I'm working in a different office in a different town, hours from the other one, and I don't have my secondary screen in front of me. It's actually being used by somebody else. I think I have to bring an extra one. Anyway, this one is about when you're on SSI. So this is not SSD. Sorry, SSD people. The cautionary tale, really, of being careful on how you pay your rent if you're a rent payer and you have a roommate, in terms of one person paying it all and the other person paying them, etc. And so we go into that a little bit. Just as a cautionary tale, do as you will. Okay, January 8th. This was a little ditty, just to clear up some misinformation that someone had, or just confusion, because SSI, we all know it's very confusing with the resource limits and the income limits and what applies and what doesn't. And this is about car buying, and it's not as taboo as one might think. So go into that a little bit to clear up that one little bit of confusing misinformation that at least one person may have had, so they could feel a little better about it. January 9th, this was about, for those of us approaching our early 60s, or perhaps in our early 60s, this would apply to as well. When you find you can't do the job you have been doing, the most recent one, you have to stop, and you're contemplating early retirement, and the tip that you might not want to forget about the possibilities of SSD, because they are not mutually exclusive. You can do both. And we go into that a little bit, so you have a better understanding of why it might be worthwhile to do both while you're collecting early retirement. Okay, Friday was Friday for a law review as usual, and this one concerned a Massachusetts man that stole, I think it's Massachusetts, oh yeah, 21 years of Social Security funds. And then, of course, when COVID-19 hit and all that money was tossed around, relief funds, stimulus, decided to go and defraud that as well. So I think that one is a very brief one put out by the OIG. As you know, I get all my stuff from the OIG, Office of Inspector General, when they publish it. And I don't do all of them because that would just be overwhelming. So I go in there and I grab a few and we go over it. And then we have Saturday. Oh yeah, Saturday was about the possibility and sometimes the arising of, and it's not that uncommon, of a discussion with an ALJ at your hearing about amending your onset date. And when that can be a really good sign. And what you might want to do to prepare yourself for that potential question, particularly if you don't have a lawyer. I would assume your lawyer, if it's a consideration that should be had, would bring it up with you before hearing. That's what we do. Okay. But it's a really important thing and it can be a really good sign for a case. So something you definitely want to know about if you're going to be heading to hearing. All right. Okay, that was Saturday. That's it, guys. I'll see you next week. I'll be in and out. I'm working in Perry County, Pennsylvania. At some point, I will be going back to Monroe County, Pennsylvania to work from there. But, I tend to bounce back and forth. It's great meeting people up here in this newer area where this new office is. And I look forward to being here every time I come here. So anyway, split weeks, nothing wrong with that, right? I'll talk to you later. Bye. It's still Sunday. Did you miss last week's Social Security roundup? Not this week that you just heard, but the one prior to that, and want to catch up? I'm attaching it now. Have a great day. Bye. Happy Sunday and the Social Security roundup for last week. Happy New Year, everybody. We just had the new year going into 2025. Okay, so what did we do Monday? This was December 30th. So we're doing December 30th through Saturday, January 4th of 2025. So December 30th, 2024 to January 4th, 2025. January 4th was my dad's birthday. He was born in 1930. Yeah, he was an older dad when he had me. Okay. December 30th. What did we go over? All right, let's do this. Whoops. Losing my spot here, as always. Yeah, so we went over, this was interesting. It was urinary frequency as a symptom. It could be a side effect of meds. It's often a symptom of various serious conditions, and how that urinary frequency can cause one to be disabled from working full-time, count it, full-time, 8-hour day. So we go over that a little bit. It's one that I don't see used much, probably because of the proofs, but I like to use it, and when possible, get the proofs. December 31st, New Year's Eve was about, oh yeah, it was a new court ruling. I think it wasn't even that new. This is the Hale case, Hale, and it goes over how the residual functional capacity that an ALJ determines fits you. It must be defended by the evidence somewhat in detail, and linked to it. And it also, this particular case goes into a little bit about the evidence of pain. So we like the pain case law because it's something that needs to be driven home a lot. So ALJs don't forget that just because it's subjective doesn't mean you can't, you can forget about it. January 1st, the first day of 2025, we went over, yeah, just a little more explanation on the fact that there is a 12-month durational requirement of being disabled, not just having the impairments that led to the now disability that might be less than 12 months. 12 months occurred or is expected to occur as found in the medical evidence. So remember, it's not just the impairments, it's the actual status of being unable to work all jobs on a sustained full-time basis. And that's what has to be 12 months. Alrighty, January 2nd. This is a true false thing because someone was, a little confused out there. The misunderstanding was that the SSI resource limit had been increased 300%. You know that SSI resource is that $2,000 limit that is atrociously frozen at $2,000 for the last 40 years or something like that. And yeah, there was some confusion that some people had about mixing up SSI resource was something that had been increased. So I go into that a little bit there. And I think I linked to where their confusion may have came from. But in the end, SSI has not changed the resource from $2,000 and $3,000 for single and married, respectively. It's really appalling. Friday fraud law review. This is a Pennsylvania man in my own state here in Pennsylvania. He was collecting Social Security for many years while he was working the family biz and making money. Despicable. So sorry, but that's what I'm talking about when we talk about fraud, stripping the SS funds. Saturday, January 4th. This was another new court ruling, and this one was good. And I think we'll go into it a little bit at another time because I really want to delve into a little bit about composite jobs because I think so many people have them and they don't take advantage of it on their work history reports. So this goes into a little bit of the importance of the composite job evidence for people who have a composite job, how they have to prove it. And also the DLI, date last insured, the evidence, um, how the evidence is affected, the evidence that can be used and considered is affected and potentially limited by your DLI. So another really important thing about DLIs, guys, I can't stop talking about DLI, date last insured. I don't want anybody to run out of their insured status. All right. So that was the week, guys. The what do we say? The 30th of December, 2024 to January 4th, 2025. Yeah. All right. Have a good week, guys. I will see you next time. It'll be a busy one, I think. So I hope you all stay safe and I'll talk to you later. Bye.